Well, preferably groundnut soup because they go very well together. That is banga with beans. Smooth and not rough, which means do you want smooth one or the rough one? I just put milk inside, put sugar, turn it. Hello friends, this is Jums of the Jums TV. Thank you for stopping by and you're welcome. In today's video, we're going to be talking about food. Yeah, quite a number of you refer to me as a foodie, and I don't mind. It's not an insult, so it's okay. It's fine. It's completely okay. Yeah, we're going to be talking about food, as always. Yeah, but I'm trying to look for the right word to use for this category of food we're going to be talking about, so that it doesn't come across as offensive, because it seems a few of you are very touchy. You use a word, you're touchy, you're offended, whereas you know that I do not mean any harm. I mean, anyway, we'll be talking about some very interesting food combinations here in Ghana. Okay, yeah, I think I'll use the word interesting. Yeah, we're going to be talking about some very interesting food combinations, or some very interesting foods, if you get what I mean, right? Yeah, by the way, you guys, you know, some people have left comments, and yeah, even I myself, I know that Africa were very related. Now, specifically Ghanaians and Nigerians, that's my focus for today. We tend to have a few similar foods, right? Very recently, I just discovered that a part of Yoruba, they eat something called imoyo. Imoyo is actually fish light soup. I don't think it's as light as the Ghanaian light soup, but it is light. It's typically Nigerian stews are actually a bit thicker. So this is fish light stew, what we call stew. Let me not say soup, what we call stew, right? The regular tomato stew, but it is very light, and it is called imoyo. If you're Nigerian and if you've ever tasted imoyo, let me know in the comment section. Very interesting. In this video, right, some of these things may or may not be in Nigeria. I'm saying so because I'm sure by now you know that Nigeria is very big. It's a very big country, and then we have a lot of tribes and a lot of cultures. Okay, so there is no way, at least for the few years I lived in Nigeria, better part of my life, there was no way I could have tasted, even if it was like 10% of the entire foods we have in Nigeria. What made it worse was that I lived in Lagos, and Lagos is a Yoruba state. I schooled in Oyo State. Oyo State is a Yoruba state. At one point, I traveled to a few states, but it's not like I went there to live or went there to stay or something. I don't know, but I'm just saying all of this to say that this, in recent times, I found out that it's like we have one or two of these things I want to mention. But anyway, yeah, this is getting too long, but I just wanted to establish that we are very related. I mean, Africa, we are very related. So yeah, we should have that at the back of our minds. Okay, so since we're talking about food, I brought my ice kenkey that I made. Fun fact, you guys, see, and don't put your kenkey in the fridge for no reason. Please don't put your kenkey in the fridge. When it comes out, it's not nice at all. Just leave it on the counter. I don't know how long that kenkey can stay on the counter without spoiling. I don't know, but as for fancy kenkey, fancy kenkey is another species entirely. So this is fancy kenkey, but yeah, it's a bit liquidy. But the issue was that I left it. In fact, I mistakenly put it in the freezer. Yeah, I mistakenly leave it like that. I mistakenly put it in the freezer, and by the time I left it for like one day on the counter to thaw, it was good, but by the time I blended it wasn't smooth like it should be. So let me know if there's a remedy for that. But yeah, I have some groundnuts inside. Okay, this thing should not pour, it will pay me. I don't want to make a mess. Anyway, I'm sure you can see the groundnuts inside. Well, anyway, like I've often said in previous videos, Ghanaian dishes are very innovative. As for that one, I give it to them. They are very innovative. So this list might not be very comprehensive, but these are the ones I can readily think of. The first one is this kenkey, this ice kenkey. Now, how do you pick up a ball made of, well, fermented corn, which you typically eat with stew? I heard some people eat kenkey and okra, kenkey and light soup. Hey, things are happening. Please let me know in the comment section, because I've never tried this, so I have no idea what it feels like or it tastes like. So you take a ball, a kenkey ball made of fermented corn, and then you blend it. You put sugar, you put milk, you put groundnuts. I even saw somewhere online that the person, to make very creamy kenkey, you put yogurt. Things are happening. So you make that and then you drink it as a meal, because it can be filling. Kenkey can really be filling. Ice kenkey can be filling. This is called ice kenkey, by the way, in case I didn't mention. So it can really be filling. And I found that very interesting, because you can either eat it or make it into a drink, which is equally as healthy. Yeah. The next one is omotuo, right? So omotuo is just basically what I'm about to say, don't come for me, just basically overcooked rice rice that you add a little bit more water than you should, becomes really soft or soggy. Then you make it into a swallow form and then put it in your leaf or your rubber and then serve with soup. Well, preferably groundnut soup, because they go very well together. In Nigeria, the northerners eat something called tuwo. I think tuwo shinkafa. I grew up eating the powder form. That's a rice powder sort of. I ate it once or twice when I was younger. So it's something they eat in Nigeria. But I don't know which soup they eat it best with. But here in Ghana, the best way to eat omotuo is with groundnut soup. Okay? Yeah, I said so. Let me know what you eat omotuo with. Still on the rice matter, we have something called rice water. I think the English version is rice pudding, right? I think so, yeah. So let me give you a quick story. So I got this kitchen equipment. We call it equipment. Yes, it's like a rice cooker. It is a rice cooker, but it serves as a pressure pot. It can be used to bake. It can be used to do all sorts of things. Anything you can think of, you can do it. So I just started getting used to it, and I decided, okay, let me make rice, right? And of course, all these equipments are very good because they save time. Okay, so I decided to make the rice, and I had not yet gotten the rice to water ratio or how to do it and all of that. Anyway, I was still trying it out, and I decided to make rice, right? And I used the Ghana rice, the scented rice. So after it was done, I realized that it was a little bit soggy, okay, and I was hungry, and I had plans to eat it with stew. So I said, you know what? Thank God I just cooked one portion. Well, that I could eat like twice. Yeah, so it was just for me anyway. So I tried to eat it like that. It was really soft, but I couldn't be bothered. I said, you know what? Tomorrow I would use it to make rice water. So I completely forgot that by the time you leave it in the rice cooker and all of that, by the next day it should have hardened a little bit. The moisture would have dried up and all of that. I mean, I'd already configured my brain that this is what I want to have for breakfast. I want to have rice water for breakfast. Trust your ECG now. ECG took the light, so I needed to blend the rice. Okay, so I used this, my rechargeable, what's it called, blender. That one too was not cooperating. It wasn't blending the rice like I should. You know what? I just put the rice in a bowl, took my stainless steel spoon, I started mashing the rice. It didn't mash 100%, but I mean, it was still edible. Whoa. I just put milk inside, put sugar, turned it, and my rice water was ready. And I ate it with, what did I eat it? I think bread or something, I don't remember. But I mean, my breakfast was set. So yeah, if I didn't come to Ghana, if I was not in Ghana, I would have still eaten that rice as rice and stew, or made it into concoction rice or something, but I would never have thought of rice pudding. I used to think rice pudding was very fancy. You put it in the oven or one thing. But it's very fancy. You put this one. Honestly, this is simple rice pudding. Just get your rice, make it a little bit soft. You can blend it. Of course, you should blend it so that it's a bit smoother, so it's not like you're eating rice and milk. You get the point, Sha. You get it. So it was nice, and I'm like, thank God I've experienced another culture, so I can think outside of the box and not, stick to one particular way of doing things. You get. Still on the rice matter, there's something they call awamo here. It's called oil rice. Another interesting innovation, because you don't need much. I promise you, you don't even need much. Just get your oil, your onions. You need tolobi, that's salted beef. But if you don't have that, I think you can skip that part. If you have, that's okay. If you're in Ghana, you can easily get tolobi, salted beef. I think you can do it yourself in your house. Yeah, I think there are several tutorials on YouTube where you can do that, right? So you get it, and you need your rice. That's all. Then you need some pepper to add to it. So because it's oily, so not too oily. It depends on you how generous you are with oil, but it's not too oily. But sometimes it's good to add a little bit of pepper or shito. Right, and that's it. If you want to be fancy, you fry your egg. If you want to be fancy, you add sardine. If you want to be fancy, you add avocado. Yeah, you can be fancy as much as you can. Some people even add vegetables and all of that. Anyway, yeah. Speaking of pepper, where I come from, I could never have thought that you can just take pepper, raw pepper, and just mash it. Some people do it, but we're still going to add it inside food, like maybe into your ogbono, into your okra, into your egusi, into your noodles. We won't eat it like that. It was when I came here that I realized that you can be, you don't have to have all the equipment or all the ingredients. Just take your apotoyewa, your earthenware, get your pepper, mash it, put your tomatoes, your onions, your sauce is ready. Buy kenkey and eat, or buy banku and eat, or eat it with rice. You go to the market, you see people actually making a meal in the market without gas, without stove or anything. Just take your earthenware, mash it, maybe buy banku somewhere or buy kenkey somewhere and eat, and you're good to go. Easy way of life. That's what we are for this year. Easy way of life. The next one is Garry foto. I think this thing is in Nigeria. I'm not sure, but I think I've seen it on social media somewhere. Anyway, so you don't have to you may have to cook, you may have to make the stew. Yeah, I was going to say that you don't have to cook, but you actually have to make the stew. Depends on you. So just make the stew, put your vegetables, put your protein, and mix it with the Garry. After you fluffed it a bit with a little bit of water, then mix your stew, and your meal is set. As in you have a full meal of Garry foto. What is it in English? I don't know, but Garry foto. You already have a full meal, which I think is really interesting. It's really, really good and very innovative. Yeah, kudos to whosoever came up with that Garry idea. Yeah. So if you don't like eba, I think you can use that as another option. So you can take your stew. Yeah, take the stew or whatever. The stew. If you're eating maybe eba with stew and okra, not ilalasiko. How do I explain it? Where I'm coming from, you can eat stew with plain okra. Okay, just put your iru, your locust beans, your dawdawa, and put some crayfish for flavor. You don't need to put pepper and all those things. When you start putting pepper and oil and all, that's called ilalasiko. That's okra you cook together. That's typically what it means. So my recent craze, let's put it that way, something I've been eating a lot, if I find it in traffic I buy, is inkati cake. Yeah, inkati cake. That's groundnut cake. Yeah, very nice thing. That thing is nice, you guys. It's really nice. So someone told me that the best way to enjoy it is to break it inside with Garry soakings. Okay, so I think it's made of sugar, caramelized sugar, and the groundnuts, I think. So when you want to buy, they will ask you smooth and rough. Let me say it properly. They ask you smooth and rough, which means do you want smooth one or the rough one? So the smooth one is smooth. Excuse me, the smooth one is smooth. You just see bits and pieces of peanuts there. But the rough one has whole peanuts, like whole groundnuts. You can see them there. So you'll see it is very nice, nicely done. There are different types. I bought one that is spiral like this. So yeah, I've been loving it lately. Yeah, because I like peanuts a lot, so I've been loving it. Groundnut. Stop speaking brofu. I like groundnut. Then this one, well, I've talked about it before on my channel. It was when I got to Ghana that I realized that. I remember because yesterday I ate it, so I'm just like, I should add this to the video. So jollof beans with plain rice. Okay, right? So the jollof beans, that's the how they call bean stew. Yeah, I think Ghanaians call it bean stew. So the bean stew serves as beans/stew for the white rice. Do you get it? So yesterday, I'm just sorry, but the Nigerian in me could not really eat the bean stew with the white rice. I've tasted it a couple of times. It's not a problem, but I just wanted to put stew. I had to put stew. I'm so sorry. If you make it for me, I'll eat it definitely. But when I was, warming up the food and things, I'm like, let me just put stew. I beg. Let me enjoy this thing and put stew. So I still put tomato stew. Okay, and I ate it, and it was nice. So here, I mean, you don't have to have stew. Once you just have your stewed beans or your jollof beans, I mean, just use it to eat your white rice, and that's balanced. Everything is going, everything is nice and easy. Okay, so this last one, let me take my kenkey first. So this last one, I'm sure you saw the vlog. I'll put it in the description, right? I also put the video in the description of how I made ice kenkey for the first time. I'll put it in the description. So, you guys, palm nut soup with beans. As in, for Nigerians, if you want to understand it better, that is banga with beans. Please explain to me in the comment section. I genuinely want to know, because no matter how many times people talk to me about it, or no matter how many times people tell me it's nice, I've eaten it, is nice, but I can't still understand the concept. Honestly, I cannot. I'll eat it though, definitely. I mean, it's food, yeah. But I cannot understand the concept. Please let me know in the comment section. What's the relationship between palm nuts and beans? I mean, I'm genuine. No, you guys should know me by now. I'm being as honest as I can. I will eat it, but I cannot understand the relationship between palm nuts and beans together in the same bowl. I mean, like, if the beans is inside the stew, the soup. Well, yeah. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something, you learned a thing or two. Let me know if you want to see a part 2 of this, because hey, I've just tied myself down. Okay, let me know if you want to see a part 2. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for stopping by. Do ensure to like, subscribe, share, comment, and be nice. Yes, that's the 5th one. Subscribe, like, comment, share, and be nice. All right, guys, I'll see you in my next video. Bye.